Hello, ladies. How's it going?
Hey, Bernard.
Great. Let's jump right into this. Episode three, in my opinion, is easily one of the best episodes so far in this series because it brilliantly establishes who Echo is with Maya's touching plus sad origin story. Can you talk? Can you talk about being tasked with bringing this character into the MCU? Pretty much.
Um, it, Being tasked with it was such a great privilege, actually, because we knew very little about Maya Lopez's character going into the show, and then finding out more and more about her just was like, oh my gosh, the layers of this human being and her hero status. Not only Maya Lopez, but also Alaqua Cox, who plays Maya Lopez. They're kind of mirrored as like real life superheroes. A non-hearing character from the Native American culture, and also an amputee, and all of these things, Alokwa and Maya Lopez use as her superpowers. So that was wonderful to establish and be part of.
And also
Yeah.
Marvel allow you to tell emotional stories. And I think that's what deepens their characters and makes them so beloved. So for us to have the time to spend with Maya in that way, we like telling authentic stories, and it makes her a dynamic and complex villain, if you want to call it that. But we all have we're never purely good or purely evil. And Maya is
True.
definitely an example of that.
True. True. Now we have to talk about that fantastic car chase scene. Can you break down recreating that scene from Matt Fraction, David Aja's Hawkeye series?
I mean, it's months long of like what we did to break that down. We are meticulous planners, so that kind of, as soon as we wanted to keep the camera in with Clint and Kate for as long as possible as they're leaving that parking lot, and just what happens if we stay with them and we just kind of experience that in this 360 revolving camera, which meant that we had to choreograph every piece of action to a perfect time, and every piece of dialogue that we come back to, and they were able to, as actors, just stay in it, and then not until Kate gets out of the window do we go out of the window, and that kind of transitions us into this new phase of the car chase.
It was amazing. It was amazing. And finally, another thing I have to ask you about is the brilliant use of sound mixing in this third episode, and how you were able to have viewers experience the challenges of being deaf and experience Clint's hard of hearing. Why is that? Why is it so important that viewers, experience that?
Well, I mean, for Clint's story, it kind of really makes you realize that, and in episode 2, they really set it up well, that the years of being a hero, which he's in denial about or not comfortable with, has taken its toll. And you can imagine, if it's done that to his hearing, what else has it done to his body? And we see kind of the effects of a fight playing out on his body, her body. But it makes him more human. So it was very important for us to put the audience in his story in that way, and makes that phone call with his son more emotional. And then
Yeah,
obviously with Maya, it's incredibly important, because how is she seeing the world, and how does she experience the world? And if it can take us out of our lives, our daily lives, for that moment, so the next time we meet someone who's either hard of hearing or non-hearing, maybe we're a bit more compassionate to them, to understand what they're going through. So we wanted to show that, because also it ultimately feeds through to what her superpower is, which is being observant and seeing the world around her in a way that we never will. So all of these things build into her incredibly complex, dynamic kind of character of Maya.
thank you, thank you. Ladies, you did a fantastic job on episode 3 and episode 4. I love this series very much. Thank you for talking to me today. Thank
Good.
you so
Thanks,
much.
Bernard. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.